French Polynesia has come to an end, and this incredible chapter of our sailing adventures has left some profound memories we will never forget. But with only a 3-month visa and a few more countries we want to explore before cyclone season, it's time to jump on the magic bus called Alivo. So today, let's get her ready for another wild ocean crossing. Today, we aren't sure if we're sailing to Tonga or American Samoa. All we know is there is a weather window opening, and we must take it. Today, the wind and weather guide us to our next destination. So let's see where it takes us.
Oh my God,
What has happened in here? I cleaned the bottom of the boat.
I made a little bit of a mess.
And what did you do to the galley?
Well, it was just going to be a couple screws, and then it ended up being a couple more screws, and then a couple more after that, and then now we don't have a stove or an oven anymore.
What?
Sorry.
No dinner for you.
Barbecue only. No, basically all I was trying to do was get this little clicker to work so that we didn't have to use a lighter to light the stove or the oven. The little igniter thing is back here on this oven, and to get to that I kind of, maybe in hindsight I didn't have to take everything apart, but yeah, it's not super easy to get to back here. So I started taking things apart, trying to troubleshoot, figure out what everything was, and then you can see it's working now. But what it ended up being was a loose ground down here, which would have been the easiest thing to get to out of the whole oven. So yay! One of those days.
Hey.
Trying to put it back together.
Alright, I'll time you. Ready, set, go.
Alright, so the project for the day is redoing all this rigging stuff. I'm not redoing the rigging, but I'm adding in some washers. See, there's a little bit of a gap here, so I added in 3 washers. They're all 3/16 washers that should fill that gap and keep this from going back and forth. We were advised by Mike in the cruise that if you have a gap there, when it kind of wiggles back and forth, it'll end up kind of sawing the whole chain plate, making that whole oblong basically. And so what I did is I just taped this up, taped that up to mark my spot, loosened it all up, and loosened up the forestay. And we'll go show you the forestay, why this is even bigger of a problem. Also, I put some Lanico all in these little sections here in the toggle and around every little connection between metal to metal to kind of hopefully reduce some rusting there. Not sure if you guys are going to be able to hear me because it's a little bit windy up here, but you can see these little gaps right here. Anytime that forestay kind of wiggles back and forth, it's kind of weakening that portion right there because it's sliding back and forth on that clevis pin. And also, I'm glad that I'm looking at this closely because you can see a little bit of, well, a lot of weird rust kind of developing there. So we need to address that and try and clean up that rust and hopefully prevent it from happening again. And also down here, there's a good little gap in between here that every time that sail kind of bangs back and forth, that's going to slide back and forth and do the same thing. So we'll address all those issues. I got us tied off just with the spinnaker halyard here to relieve some tension off of this, and the backstay is still loose. Shouldn't be pulling it backwards too much, and yeah, get her done. I'm glad I did this because you can see that is pretty dang rusty, and that's only less than a year old right now, and everything was like that. So I'm just treating it with some oxalic acid, then we'll clean it off with some vinegar and put some Lanico or some Tef gel on there. I haven't decided yet. Hopefully it'll keep from corroding again. So when we look out at this water, it looks super nice and, you know, pretty color, but we've noticed that it's very low visibility when you're down there trying to clean the bottom or find the anchor. And we just made water, and check out this little pre-filter. That is all covered in the same stuff that's making it low visibility. Not sure if that's little critters or just a bunch of little sand, but yeah, kind of crazy. I've never seen this clog up that much, especially in such pretty water. And it's been a few sessions since I cleaned these filters, but it is, those got pretty murked up too. So it's not just us that thinks the water's not that clear around here. Well, got it all shined up and nice, and yeah, I was able to fit 2 washers down in here, which should be a lot better. And 1 washer up in here. Kind of bowed it out a little bit. Yeah, I think it was doing that before anyways. There's still space in there for that clevis pin to wiggle just a hair. Yeah, happy with that. I ended up switching from cotter pins to this little method here, where I wrapped around some stainless tie wire through there to keep that from turning. And that is beneficial because we kept running our tack line for the spinnaker, and the tack line was rubbing against the cotter pins and kind of bending them up and almost pushing them out. So good thing to have on the force day. Beautiful day in paradise. In the middle of a squall here at anchor. Hopefully my trunks don't fly away. Look at all that water we're wasting. How's my hair?
Make sure we have nothing in our teeth. So we have been hunkered on Maupiti, and we've been eager to go. And we've been looking at weather, and we've literally just been looking at the screen for weeks.
Far too long.
Well, as a sailor, you look at this every single pretty much day of your life. But the direct sail across from, this is where we are, this little dot. And we need to go, so here is like American Samoa, and that's Fiji. So Tonga's going to be like right about there. The wind blows. If we were to just downwind sail, it would be a beautiful downwind sail just straight across. But what happens, all of a sudden right here, this blue starts to come in to basically mean we would have to motor. And we want to do all we can to avoid the blue. At the same time, when you're looking at wind, we also like to take into consideration waves, because that's going to determine how comfortable or uncomfortable your sail is going to be. And as you can tell, kind of down here on the screen, if we go back and forth, you can see there's just so much weather under New Zealand that storms across just above the Arctic. So what that does is it creates these mega waves, and these waves get ricocheted, or I guess, what is it called? The ripple effect continues on to, we would feel the effects of those storms all the way up here. So we are trying to avoid any, especially yellow. Turquoise is okay. We're thinking about leaving about this time and day. So we have good wind. There's going to be a little bit of waves here, but what we've decided to do is we're going to start to go slightly at a north angle, which will be a better sail. So basically we can go above this blue spot that is like right in the center, and also avoid the waves that makes. Basically we want to avoid all this. That is some scary things.
This little dog has been walking with us all the way around the island.
We named him Pago because we're going to Pago.
He's crossed a pack of mean junkyard dogs just to stay with us. Walked all the way to the ice cream store. We couldn't get any ice cream.
Yeah, they didn't take credit card, and we don't have any more money left. And then we were walking away, and we were like, where did he go? Oh no! And then he just came running out of nowhere. He's back with us. I wouldn't be surprised if he jumped on the dinghy. And
He probably will.
Try to come
It's
with
a
us.
good little dog. Too bad we can't take you with us.
Fun to pretend like we have the dog. Get all the perks without the responsibilities, Connor said.
I think he might end up chasing us to our boat. He's gonna hop in that dinghy thinking it's ours.
That's ours.
Poor Pago.
We can take him.
This is kind of the saddest thing.
Connor's about to cry. He is so sad. He was just in the water, just like right next to the dinghy. And
He wants to come with us, but we can't take him. Poor little guy. He's been a good dog. Good time with you, Pago. Bye-bye.
have a good life. We love you.
We'll be back someday. And we just had the kind of saddest walk around the island possible. We met a dog we couldn't take with us, and we went to the ice cream store and we didn't have any money. So it was a big fail. We didn't find any bananas. We didn't do anything good. All they had here was oh, we did get rid of garbage. One success. All right. It's a long trip just to empty the garbage.
All right, we are leaving Maupiti today. It is absolutely gorgeous here, but we have checked out of French Polynesia, so we need to get out of here. Connor is at the helm, doing an amazing job, and we are trying to navigate out of some really, really shallow, uncharted parts. That's why I'm up on the bow. This is where we're gonna, I think, swing far right. Aim for the green, and then once we get around that green and red buoy, then we're in the clear. We're on charted land where they have a nice little navigation path on Navionics. I don't know about all the rest of you sailors, but the stress levels of going through a narrow passage, super shallow spots that have freezer sharp bodies are just like so freaking scary. And I can't get over it. I can't stay calm. I always get the butterflies in the morning when I know we're leaving. Connor's doing absolutely amazing. Man, it is an uneasy feeling. I wish with time that it goes away, but like I am on. Like, look at this. Bommy. But look, we do have these navigational beacons right here, but it just looks so tight. Like you can see the bommies kind of stretch out for the red, so we have a very tight space where Alivo is gonna fit. Waves coming in. Probably gonna get back here in a moment. One last little eye on any last little bommies. Oh my god, I'm out of here. Oh my god. Doing great. I believe I just got annihilated by that wave. Alright, this is what our 10 days is gonna look like. I think we've been in an atoll for too long. We've been protected and in a calm creation, and it's like I just went down to close the port lines and my stomach just went straight out of my throat. He was like, big one, watch out! I just thankfully had a handle to hold on, and then I just went flying. So this is amazing because we originally thought we were gonna just be solo, meaning just our boat going to Tonga, but we have our friends all lined up behind us. I don't know if you can see that. There's Aqualuna's directly behind with their head sail out as well. I think we're just trying to round Maupiti, and then we'll bust out the mainsails, and then way behind, a tiny little white blip, a little sail on the radar. That's our friend Peter and his dog Pee-Pee that is also coming along with us. So we got 3 boats all together making their way with Alivo leading the pack. Arr!
Oh, just diving right into the luxuries of sailing, finally finishing the Brendan voyage, watching the sun go down, and Connor has been researching American Samoa. And how excited are you to go to American Samoa?
America! Yeah!
What else?
They have cheap buses, hamburgers. It's affordable, so we can go out to eat. We didn't provision at all for this journey, except for a couple pieces of cheese and salami. Doesn't really count.
But we have a lot of canned food that we got in Mexico, so we're now down to the cans.
We're still living off our Mexican provision, so that's good news.
We still have meat.
We still have plenty of meat. Yeah, we got about 8 days to go, or more.
With cheese and salami.
We could probably last for at least 20 to 30 days on what we have on the boat still, I would estimate.
Just because I'm very creative. Whoa!
This has been a great sail.
It's a little rough out here, but we kind of expected that.
We did. We're expecting it to take 15 minutes.
So then we're pleasantly surprised when it takes 10. Yeah, we're sailing at our average is like 6.5 knots.
At least.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rolly. We're going a little bit more north than we would like to, but we're gonna ride this out tonight, and then we'll switch to wing on wing tomorrow, and hopefully that'll just bring us right in there.
Yeah, because if you guys remember, all of that stormy weather down south is making lots of swell. So the more north we go, we'll avoid the swell.
Avoid the swell and the super strong winds too. We'll get some good little 20 to 30 knot days up north here, but down there there's going to be 35 knots plus. So we're happy to be out of the wind and waves.
All right, going into night 1. Woo!
America!
Anywhere you go, give it on. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Sun is rising, and we had a rough night, but we hightailed it north, and now we're finally in a place where we can go wing on wing and go west. I think it feels more comfortable. What do you think?
Way better.
Have you even slept at all?
Maybe 3 minutes.
Crazy.
As a sailor, you go where the wind takes you. So with Tonga and American Samoa as possible locations, the wind was taking us to American Samoa. We were happy with our choice of heading slightly north. Even though it added some mileage for this passage, it at least got us a further away from the massive swell hitting. Our buddy boats ventured dead west from Maupiti and got caught in that gnarly swell. Both boats lost their autopilot. Not fun, especially for a solo sailor. This kept us at high alert, making sure we did everything we could to not lose ours. So come along next episode, for there's more sailing to be done, more problem solving to be done while at sea. And as many of you have already heard if you saw our YouTube short or Instagram, we have a surprise. My sickness may not have been seasickness after all.
It's stormy and I'm seasick.
And
Is that
We want to give a huge thank you to all our supporters. We so appreciate you and are amazed at your generosity. If you want to also help support our journey, check us out on Patreon. There's a link below in the description. Or if it's easier, scan your phone right now on the QR code that's right here on the screen. Now make it a great day, and see you next episode.